And now, please welcome Jodi Benson. You can do better than that.
Oh, no, this is awesome.
That's more like it.
This is so sweet. You are all so sweet to come and hang with me this morning. There are a lot more people than I anticipated on a Saturday rainy day with all your fabulous costumes and stuff. Wow. How's everyone doing?
We're good.
It's weird a good weird, but to be with human beings again. You know, I just started back in person July, and you know, getting back on stage and starting to sing with symphonies, and I just did Candlelight Processional last week for a week, and I was telling the audience that you know, to not be on a Zoom with all of you in little boxes everywhere and me not with a shirt on top and my pajamas on bottom, you know. So it's like now I have to dress from head to toe. When I would get up in the morning and start virtual work, my kids would know I was heading off to work because I would have a blue blouse or a sweater and my mermaid pajamas, my slippers, and when I turn around, I used chip clips. Do you know what chip clips are? Yeah. I used that on the back of my shirt so that when I'd sit down for my virtual, it wouldn't like come apart this way. So I'd turn around and kids would be like, "Yep, Mom's going to work. Got the chip clips on her back, heading up to the studio." So yeah, this is better, right? That we're not in our pajamas. This is good. Yeah. So anyways, I'm happy to be here. My first time to Steel City. This is mine. Yes. I brought this with me. First time to Steel City. I don't even know where I actually am. Where am I?
Monroeville near Pittsburgh.
Okay, I knew I flew into a P town, and I was like, it's either Philly or Pittsburgh. It was late, and I had just gotten back from Disney, so I was a little sleepy. But I don't know what town I'm in, so I'm in Monroeville,
outside of Pittsburgh.
Because I've been posting, you know, hey, hello, PA, because I'm like, I don't know the name of the town where I'm at. Steel City. Anyways, yeah, so I'm here, and we're all here together, and this is awesome. I'll let you do your thing, Maestro.
Well, would you mind getting some questions from the audience?
No, not at all.
Let's jump right in. Raise your hand.
I'll be happy to.
Raise your hand. We'll come around with a wireless microphone and get your questions. We got some right back there.
This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
Well, this is great, and I appreciate all the costumes and all the wigs and all the little kids. I got a little Ariel sitting here in the front. Didn't I see her yesterday? Oh, she sings, right? Would she sing for us right now? Okay, hold on. Let me get my mic down here. Give me Evie. It's Evie. Evie, come here. Come here. Remember how you sang for me yesterday? Girlfriend's 2 years old. Oh, not yet. Not till February. Okay, let's see if she'll do this. So, Mom, how did we make her do this yesterday? Oh, she's going to sit down with me. Okay, we're back. Evie, remember how Ariel sings? Not going to have it. I heard her doing it, and she said Ariel for the first time yesterday, right? So when I was at my table, she was like, Ariel, Ariel, Ariel. And that was your first time to say that big word, wasn't it? Well, if you feel like singing... If you feel like singing for us, you just let me know, okay, baby? All right, she'll start. So that's Evie, ladies and gentlemen. She has no clue what's going on right now. She's like, what is this lady doing to me? Hi, baby. You're so cute. Look at that little ponytail on top.
All right.
Anyways, we have some questions.
We'll start with some questions right here.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So this is probably not the question you were expecting to open with, but
is it appropriate?
It is. I promise.
I mean, are we going there already?
No,
We're going there?
Dear Lord, no. There was a project.
Fin or tail jokes. No tail or seashell jokes.
There was actually a project you worked on a long time ago called Grandia 2. You played a character named Millennia.
No.
Have you ever?
You're going there. See,
I am going there. Well, no, I wanted to know, like, it's a very different character from what you're used to playing. So what was it like to play that character, and what was your favorite experience with working on
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have a period of my life called BC. That's before children. And before homeschooling for 17 years. So just think about my brain cells and then 2 children and homeschooling for 17 years. So we call that BC. So Mama no remember nothing. BC. And that's 1999. So literally, this just happened on Instagram not too long ago. For my birthday, a fan posted like 20 characters. I kid you not, I knew half of them. So I immediately put it back up. Help 911. Does anybody know who any of these characters are from my IMDb? And a wonderful Disney fan in 2 minutes wrote every character out, what project it was from, and sent it back. I was like, thank you. And there were 2 characters in that grandia. I had no idea I ever did those projects. So I can't even answer your question because I feel so horrible. But literally, I do not remember. That didn't answer your question. You're just being very nice. See, I'm old. And when you get old, you lose brain cells. And my children took all of my brain cells out of my head. No, I'm just kidding. I do not remember the project, but one thing I do remember about it was that because it was so different and because I needed to alter my voice and to make sure that it didn't sound like Ariel, that was challenging to me, to kind of like change things up. And so that was in the early 90s, probably right after Ariel came out. So the trick was don't sound like Ariel, So that was a task in and of itself. Sorry, I can't recall anything else from the 90s.
Another question right here.
Okay.
So hello, Jodi. It's wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So I have a 2-part question for you.
Okay.
Back in the day, how did you manage to find the balance between working as an actress and being a mother?
Yeah.
And also, how did you get your start prior to being cast as Ariel, along with your fondest memories of Samuel E. Wright and Howard Ashman?
Okay, I'm going to try to grasp all of those. I'm going to go back in time. So my Ariel audition happened after a Broadway ill-fated Broadway show that I did called Smile with Howard Ashman and Marvin Hamlish. And they wrote a song called Disneyland for me, for my character. So that's the song I sang. And then opening night of Smile, they surprised me, and Mickey Mouse came to the opening night party and gave me the keys to the kingdom. So I'm an honorary citizen in my life of Disneyland. So from that, when the show closed ever so quickly, we were very, very sad. And Howard was so kind to invite a handful of us to audition for The Little Mermaid. So that's kind of how that all started, was being able to work with Howard on Smile, and then we transitioned to working together on The Little Mermaid, which was absolutely incredible. As far as the other part of balancing, my husband Ray and I, we decided to figure this out as a family. We did not have a nanny who traveled with us. So when my son was born, I had 32 travel trips his first year of his life. So my husband gave up his career. He was a Broadway actor, and said, "You know what? We're gonna figure this out as a family." So we traveled as a family, and that's kind of how we've made it work. And then as far as homeschooling with travel, it allowed us to be together as a family. I was the primary teacher, and then when I would be on stage or I'd be working, my husband would take over as my substitute teacher, which he was fabulous. But we had a great program that we used, and so I didn't need to have a library at each town. I had a box of everything that came. I had a separate suitcase, and so school came on the road with us, even on the cruise ship, So we would take days off at Disney, though, that's for sure. No schooling at Disney. That wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, we've just tried our best. I'm sure we've made tons of mistakes. I'm sure if my children were here, they would share that, to say, yeah, it was a little challenging here and there, but this was the way that we could be together as a family. And so that when I decided to have children, I really did want to be involved in their life and not gone, most days and most weekends. And 8 shows a week on Broadway is taxing. So I decided to let that part of my life go as far as an 8-show-a-week Broadway schedule when I decided to have children. So it was a good transition for our family. Yeah.
All right. We're
Thank
still
you.
over this side here.
Okie
Another
dokie.
question for you.
Hi there. I'm a middle school chorus teacher, and my students are getting ready to audition for their spring musicals next week, actually.
Wonderful.
What would you say to students who are interested in the arts to kind of motivate them or inspire them to continue that
Right.
interest?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Congratulations. What a great job. I think the most important thing for all of us, and no matter what, is to find that sweet spot, which is what you're passionate about, what means something to you, and then what you're naturally gifted at. And I think when you find that sweet spot, you find that purpose in your life to be able to just enjoy that. I love what I do. And I also have a gift set that God gave me, upon birth. So I want to try to make the most of that. So when I'm talking to young people, I try to just ask them, what do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? And pursue that, whatever that is. And I think that's really the key to longevity. It's the key to finding purpose. It's the key to fulfilling what you can do to kind of give back to your community. So yeah, just try to encourage kids, whatever it is, whether it's singing, dancing, acting, whatever. They just need to find, it has to be from the child's perspective. It can't be from a parent saying, I want you to do this and I'm going to help you pursue that. It has to come from the child. That's the only way that it's really going to work. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jodi, we're
There you
over
are.
on the right side now.
Hey.
I've got a question for you here.
Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
I need to ask
I'm
you.
in Monroeville.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I just learned that. I'm just throwing off that name because I know where I'm at now.
When you're in the studio preparing to sing the song for a particular part.
Yes, which I think you just saw a clip of that. Yes.
Yeah, but is that part, is the film in front of you? Do you get
No.
to see that character? or
No,
is it
and this is a good thing. I love when people ask this question, so I can kind of give you a quick little 101. So for voiceover, we do the voice first is recorded. We have a pencil sketch of a character of what they think it's going to look like, but they always change once we add the voice. Then the animators listen to the voice, and then they bring them to life within their sketching afterwards. So the filmmaking for ours is a hand-painted, hand-drawn Little Mermaid. We're the last full-length feature film for the company to be hand-painted, hand-drawn. So when you think about all the bubbles, that's a lot of bubbles, isn't it? So we have a lot of amazing colorists and animators and artists. So that's why it takes about 2.5 years. 2.5 years for our type of film. Now for CGI and for special effects, it's different timing. But for our film, from start to finish, it's about a 2.5 year process. Yeah. So it's really neat. So the voices come first, and then the animators will let you know, you kind of bring that character to life. And then they just get to go and have fun. So they would wear their Walkman. My animator's name is Glenn Keane, and he would wear a Walkman, and he'd be recording me while I was in the studio. Then he'd go back to his studio on the lot. He'd listen to me on the Walkman, and then he'd start sketching. So it's old-fashioned. Old-fashioned. Yes.
Jodi, we're down in front now, and this little lady has a question. Stand up here.
What was your favorite part about being the voice of Ariel?
Oh, my favorite part about being the voice of Ariel. I think it's getting to meet all of you. I really do. I love getting to meet the fans all over the world, and I love to hear their stories about what the character means to them and where they were the first time they saw the film, who they were with, what they were wearing. And so when I get to hear all these beautiful stories from people, and of course we're on our 4th and 5th generation now because the film has been out for 31 years. So we're on to at least our 5th generation, which is pretty cool. So that's a lot of age range of people that I get to meet. I get to meet little, less than 2-year-old little Evie here. And then I've got grandparents and I've got great-grandparents that get to share their story about where they were when they saw the film for the first time. So I think that's probably the greatest joy for me, is getting to meet all of you.
Another question right down
Yes.
front.
Jodi, what do you like to do in your spare time, in your leisure time?
I love to read. I do love to read when it's quiet. And of course, my biggest thing is I get to spend time with my family. Both of my children are adults now, and my son's about to get married in June. So I've got a future daughter-in-law coming up soon, which is awesome. They've been together for 7 years. So the time that we have together as a family is super precious. And so we love to play games. We love to play board games. We love to play card games. We love to play Wii Sports. We love to do a family movie night, which we'll be doing during Christmas, watching It's a Wonderful Life, which is kind of our tradition. So when I'm not with my family and trying to grab that special time just with my husband and I, because we've been married for, I think we're going on 38 years now. So yeah, so we want to try to, we haven't really done the empty nesting thing yet, just because we're kind of all together with the pandemic and in and out of craziness. But spending quality time with him, you know, to recount and kind of reconnect as far as our being best friends and our marriage. But when it's just super, super quiet and there's nothing else going on, I do love to read a really great book, you know. But we do a lot of hiking. We do a lot of outdoor stuff. And, yeah, just really try to make the most of each day, you know, truly savor the time that we have together as a family, which is very precious. Very thankful.
Okay, Jodi, we're over here on the left now. And this lady has a question for you.
How old were you when you started to sing?
Oh, I think I started to sing, what my mom told me was probably around 4 or 5, just singing around the house, obviously. And then when family would gather together for holidays or something, my mom would be like, why don't you sing a Christmas carol? Or why don't you, that kind of thing started to happen. But I've always loved to sing, and I didn't have any voice lessons or anything like that. It was just something that I was born with, that God gave me, and I'm very thankful, very thankful. Yeah, it's a fun thing to do, to sing.
All right, another question right here.
Uh-huh.
So how is it to work on something like Kingdom Hearts, like when you're working with like Square Enix, like a new project like that, like
Right.
a bunch of Disney properties and stuff?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's a great question. So Kingdom Hearts was awesome because their team was brilliant, and they were just incredible to work with. But what I loved about Kingdom Hearts is that they worked very closely with our division at Disney Character Voices, and their goal was to maintain the integrity of all of the original characters, and that was really important to them. They didn't want to sway from that, because our job is to make sure that we're giving you your experience of the first time that you've heard our characters. And so that's what Kingdom Hearts wanted to do. They wanted to make sure that they stood true to the integrity of the original, of all the originals of the characters. So that was neat. Yeah.
All right, Jodi.
Yes.
I'm going to have her stand up on this chair so that you can see her. Climb on up. She's got a question for you.
Oh, look at this, a little Mulan.
How much do you love the Little Mermaid ride?
How much do I love the Little Mermaid ride? I love it this much. And I was just on it last week with my kids, and we were laughing and chuckling because I think on one of our DVD releases, I don't know if it's the 20th anniversary or the 25th, I don't know, my children and I opened New Fantasyland, and we did this DVD thing. So when we filmed it, it was at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning when the park was closed. And we rode the ride 50 times to refilm, to film it and to get the lines right and the experience and the camera angles. And so when I rode the ride with my kids last week, both of them, we were recreating that. Like, do you remember when we were on this at 4 o'clock in the morning when they both were young and they both had braces, and we were just giggling and laughing so much because now they're 20 and 22, they're grown-ups. But we do love that ride. My favorite part is when you're in the shell and you're going backwards and you go down under the sea and you feel the cold breeze on your face. Oh, that's my favorite part. And then you look up and there she is. She's just swimming.
I rode it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good. Well, I might have seen you there because I was just there last week.
Did you ride it 50 times? No.
Probably not 50. Probably
We've
go
got some
crazy by
questions
then.
right over here.
Sure.
Okay, I'm so happy to see you again, Jodi.
Nice to see you again too.
And my friends loved the video that you did for me in September. They think it's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
Have you ever been to my hometown of Massillon, Ohio?
No, I have not. But our daughter goes to the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music in Cincinnati.
Massillon's
So we've been there.
Massillon's just 50 miles south of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. And I've been to Cleveland. I've sung with the Cleveland Symphony several times.
And Massillon's also close to Canton.
Oh, good. Haven't been there. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks for saying hi.
And Doug is from Massillon, by the way.
Oh, awesome. Oh, he's like, no, don't say that. Okay.
I do live in Massillon. though.
Okay.
Another question right here.
Okay.
Hi. So you've obviously had a very big impact. What was the first moment that made you realize how important your role has been?
That's a really good question. Like when I was doing the film, we had no idea what the impact was going to be. We didn't know anything. It wasn't until the movie came out that, right before that I was sent out on press tour, and then I kind of realized like, whoa, this is bigger than what we had imagined. And it was probably after the movie came out, starting to do some public appearances and things like that, that I started to realize, oh my goodness, this is huge. This is going to be kind of life-changing, because we had no clue that it was going to be like that, while we were working on the project. So I would have to say like a good 3 months after the movie came out, and I think one of the first times when I went to Walt Disney World that I thought and I started seeing everyone dressed like Ariel, and the T-shirts and the everything, the costumes, I was really, really blown away. So yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey for 35 years for me. Yeah, definitely life changing.
Okay, right here, another question.
Hi, Jodi. We actually got to meet you in Kansas City a couple months ago.
Yes, a couple months ago. Mm-hmm.
My question is, what is your favorite sea creature?
My favorite sea creature. Well, in the movie, I'm partial to the blowfish during Under the Sea. Super cute. In real life, not in the film, I really love starfish. I think they're so cool when you go to the aquarium, and we have a touch, before COVID at the Georgia Aquarium, there's a touch place. And so they let you carefully, kind of explore. So I would have to say starfish. Yeah. Thank you.
Over here to your left, we've got some questions that I'm going to kind of work my way up.
Hi.
Hey there, Ariel. You look so pretty.
It was the greatest day of my life.
Oh.
So I was wondering, Little Mermaid 2 was actually my favorite of the series.
Oh, great.
I actually
Wonderful.
broke it because I played it so much when I was a kid.
Okay.
If they ended up bringing back Melody, and I know obviously Sebastian couldn't be a part of it, unfortunately, but would you be interested in doing a Little Mermaid 4?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, whenever Disney calls, I'm always there. Yeah. And speaking of Sebastian, we lost Sam Wright, and that was a huge loss to our community, as well as Renee Abujanwa. And so Sam truly was the most loving, the most kind, always smiling, always laughing, and so I'm very thankful. I had the opportunity to work with him on The Little Mermaid, as well as a Broadway show called Welcome to the Club. We were doing that at the same time that we were recording. So we were working together on Broadway while we were recording Mermaids. So I feel very, very thankful that I had that opportunity to be with him. But we so sadly missed.
All right, some more questions over here.
Hi. What's it like being like knowing that you're like an iconic Disney princess?
I don't really think of it in terms of me personally. I think in terms of the character as far as Ariel, and I'm just grateful I get to be a part of that. I get to be part of her creation. But I think what makes me the happiest is that Ariel is an iconic princess and one of our classic princesses now that I'm so happy about. But she's just an incredible character, and I'm grateful that I get to be part of her.
All right. Why don't you stand up on your chair? That way she
We
can
have
see.
another little one.
All right. She's got a question for you.
Okay.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh! We can probably do that. How about that? I think we can do a safe hug. We're all trying to stay safe, aren't we? You're a little person. What's your name?
Nina.
What's your name?
Nina.
Nina? Oh, all right, Nina. Come here, look how cute she is. Isn't she cute? So cute. I love your little hair. Thank you for my hug. I appreciate that. So cute. Adorable. I love when all the kids get to come. Makes it extra, extra special.
All right. And I'm going to stay right over here in this section for another question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I am a super huge fan of The Little Mermaid. I believe I know that you also voiced Vanessa, right?
Yes.
Was it interesting, like bouncing in between the two?
Well, I had Pat Carroll, so my job was just to imitate Pat. And she's just fantastic and so talented and so sweet and so kind. So she was kind enough to record everything and help me and direct me along with Howard. But doing Vanessa was really fun. And it was fun because nobody really knew it was me for quite some time, unless you were to pause your VHS at the end and run the credits, you know, then you would figure it out. But most people didn't know. We kind of kept it hush-hush for quite some time. Yes.
All right. Now we're over here to the right.
Oh, look at that. We have a sign.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
You were the narrator in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at our Benedum Theater.
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to work on stage with your husband?
Oh, you know what? The last time my husband and I worked together on stage was on one of the Disney cruise ships. I dragged him in and had him do a show with me, which was really fun. So hopefully I'm going to drag him up on stage again with me so soon. But I love your T-shirt, and I love that you've got your signs, part of your world. That's so cute. Yeah, thank you. It was wonderful to do the tour. I've actually played Pittsburgh several times with Marvin, with the symphony, as well as with Joseph. And I even think I came through on another national tour years ago, like in the early 80s. Yeah. Yeah, so fun.
All right, we're still on this side. He's got a question for you.
Hi, Jodi. What was challenging about transitioning from Broadway to voiceover?
Oh, well, you can probably see it whenever you watch the clips from the sessions that Howard and I had. It was not being so big, not singing so much, being so loud. I'd hit the mic all the time. Just to make everything really intimate and small was very hard after having, standing on a stage at the Lunt and with 1,500 seats and needing to project and to be heard and diction, and all of that had to go away. And don't have such perfect diction. It's too much, You're singing too much. So those types of things were a huge transition for me. Yeah, really big transition.
We have time for about 2 more questions, and then you're going to be singing in a bit.
Okie dokie.
So let's do 2 questions.
Oh my gosh, it flew
We're right
by
over
so
here
fast.
behind the pillar here.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Jodi.
Hi.
So obviously I love The Little Mermaid. Red hair, hello.
Love it.
But one of my favorite Disney characters of all time is tour guide Barbie.
Oh, good.
So what was it like going from one phenomenon to a complete other one and also being included in that series?
I'm so sorry. Evie is having a meltdown. Sweetheart, what do you need? You want Mommy to hold you? I think she wants to get out of her car seat thingy, Mommy. Okay, get out. Just let her run around. She can run. Just let her run. She's fine. See? She's happy. Just go. Just go, baby. Just go. There you go. Everybody watch out for Evie. She's just going to walk around and go check out all your costumes. All right. Be so kind as to repeat that because I did not hear you, darling.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So obviously I love tour guide Barbie.
Yes.
So what was it like going from one huge phenomenon to another huge phenomenon?
Okay. So a quick little thing about that. So I did not audition for tour guide Barbie. The people at Pixar just called my agent and said, we want Jodi to be Barbie. And I was kind of like, why? And they're like, I said I didn't even audition for it. They was like, no, we know Barbie's in there somewhere. I was like, oh, well, okay. So I went to work the first day, and we had a big box of Barbie dolls, and we just kind of held them up and started talking and stuff. Well, in the meantime, there's the Mattel representative there, like a VP of marketing of Mattel, because she turns to me and says, this is a really big day, because they did not want to be part of Toy Story, the original. Then they saw the success of Toy Story, the original. So then Mattel changed their mind and like, oh, we're going to be part of it now. So Toy Story 2. So she turns to me and she says, this is a huge day because this is the first time that we have allowed Barbie to have a voice. She's never had a voice before. And I didn't quite know how to tell her this. I'm like, ma'am, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, whenever, I think it was right after Mermaid came out, I did a workout video of Barbies on a VHS. And so I was the first voice of Barbie, but the Mattel lady didn't remember that Barbie did have a voice. So I'm telling the Mattel lady, well, I did the workout video. It's kind of like a claymation thing and with all these kids dancing. And she's like, oh, I said, so I actually am the first voice of Barbie. So I'm just going to recreate it here for you now. So that was kind of started out a little bit awkward. And then we're like, nice. I hope I didn't insult you or anything. She goes, no, I probably should have done my research a little bit more. But anyways, we did come up with a way because the goal was to make her as real and vulnerable and smart and authentic and not for us to think of her as a plastic doll. And so the goal was to give her a reality of a real life and to make her real, you know. And although when I recorded her as if I were her body because I did have the restraints of the arms and the legs. So I did record her physically like this, but our goal was to make her vulnerable and authentic so that people could relate to her, not just the way that her appearance looks, but that she actually has a heart and she actually has some zip in her, you know, some spiciness to her. So we were able to do that with Toy Story 2. And then when we came to Toy Story 3, we were able to really develop her character even more. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, super fun.
All right, we're hiding back here. Can you see us?
I see you back there.
Last question.
Oh, okay.
First of all, thank you for coming here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, my question is, what is your favorite Ariel quote?
I think I have two things that are special to me, and I would say probably at the front of the song, maybe he's right. Maybe there is something the matter with me. I just don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad. I love that line, and then I love at the end of the film when she's holding her dad and she's whispering and she's like, I love you, Daddy. I love that line. It's so beautiful. It brings the story into full circle. It shows her maturity. It shows her relationship with her family. For me, my dad left when I was 11, so that line was really hard for me to deliver. It took 2 or 3 different days of recording to get through that line without kind of breaking down. And Howard was so great and so helpful with me on that. And so I think those lines are super special to me. Yeah. So thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me today. God bless you all. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
You know what to do. Jodi Benson. Absolutely magical.
Hi, this is Michael Shanks, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The fate of the universe may depend on it. And have fun and follow your fandom.